Either way, Jamaat Ahmadiyya is a winner here. Brothers playing brothers. Now we're going to see who takes that extra step to the cup. And there we have it, kickoff with England. Nice deep ball straight away, down back onto the Aussies. Remember, Australia was not expected to be here. They weren't listening to that expectation. They had different plans. They know how to handle the final situations. We've seen that before. Here's England with an opportunity. Uses his pace, takes that extra step. Brought down, there's a free kick. You do not want to be doing that. You don't want to give England chances. Free kick taken.
You're probably on the edge of your seat wondering what happened. Was it a goal? Was it not a goal? Who emerged victorious? But before we uncover the thrilling conclusion, let's journey back in time to understand how we got here and dive into the events and preparation of the International Ahmadiyya Football Tournament. Football is something that brings unity. We saw this when the tournament took place last year in the UK. 12 countries with 20 teams participated. After a hard-fought group stage and knockout round, UK and Germany faced off in the finals. The scoreless match proceeded to penalties, where Germany's power came through to win the championship. It may have been the end for some. However, for Canada, it was an opening for something new.
So the idea came along when we were in UK last year for the International Football Tournament and then for the cricket tournament as well. Later this year or last year, we heard UK is not going to be hosting the football tournament in 2024, which resulted in taking an idea from our perspective to say, is Canada ready to host an international football tournament?
And while we were there, we had Maud Bhai with us, we had Sultan Mubashir Saab with us. It was Maud Bhai first who asked me, he said, how are you feeling? You must be ecstatic. I said, Maud Bhai, words can't describe what I'm feeling. Words cannot describe. I said, I've played ball in serious leagues, at good levels and everything as well, but nothing tops this. So then he said, I said to him, literally we both said it together, and I said, I'd love this to be in Canada.
We sat down with our team, came up with a proposal. We looked at a number of options in terms of dates, venue, budget, and the whole logistics of organizing an international tournament. Once we created a budget and a business case, we had a conversation with respected Amir Saab Canada, Malik Lal Khan Saab.
When's he going to Amir Saab? When's he going to Amir Saab? And then eventually gets Amir Saab. And has he been sent out yet to London Mosque? Has it been a proposal been sent, request been sent to Azur? And eventually it gets there as well, and the answer come back swift. I backed off. By the time I was told that it had gone to Azur, the way the little progression had happened and in its time frames, I said, okay, that's going to be a little while, that's okay. And it was literally like I got a phone call from Maud Bhai and Ondemand Bhai, and it was like, hey, guess what? I could not have guessed that we got the answer, because in my head it's going to take X amount of time. And it was like, we got the go-ahead.
Just as the excitement for this tournament had been reinvigorated by its revival, it also had become the fuel for the teams to begin training.
It was a feeling of excitement when we heard about the tournament. Everyone was really shocked in a way, because we heard that it wasn't supposed to happen this year. When we did hear about it, everyone was instantly into training mode.
It was great excitement. We knew that we had to get into the preparation like immediately, and we were just looking forward to having our guys motivated and eager to play.
We found out around end of February, early March, and so see, from there onwards we created a committee, so myself, manager included, Danish Nasir, and we started holding trial sessions.
The first few weeks of training were genuinely not the best. As we got into it, it got better and better. When Ramadan hit, it really took a hit on us. People fasting, so we had our fast finishing around 8 p.m, having to get to training around 10 p.m, finishing around 12, getting to work at 6 in the morning. It was a really busy, tight schedule training. but alhamdulillah, it was really enjoyable.
I think for us it worked out well because our national football tournament was, the prep for the national football tournament was happening at the same time. So we were able to get a lot of friendlies in as the national team playing against some of the regional teams.
Concernant la préparation du tournoi, on a mis en place des entraînements collectifs qu'on faisait tous ensemble. On a mis aussi en place, on se rejoignait souvent le samedi soir en fait pour faire des petits tournois interdépartementaux avec les différentes jama'at de chaque département pour justement pouvoir nous entraîner au tournoi. Cette préparation a été aussi un petit peu animée parce qu'on a des joueurs qui avaient énormément envie de jouer et qui avaient énormément envie de participer pour la première fois.
With the passing of time, players anticipate their departure for potentially a very memorable tournament.
If I'm being completely honest, a lot of the boys were hesitant actually in going to Canada. As excited as we were, the logistics just weren't working out at first. We got together as a group, all the boys that were interested in going. We sat down and we said to each other, look, these events don't happen all the time, happens once a year. If anything, we have to make these sacrifices to make sure we are able to travel and show the rest of Jamaat Ahmadiyya what Australia is about, and at the same time to be able to bond with our brothers from overseas.
So yeah, we landed here in Canada and we were received by Mazhar Saab. At that point, the realization came to light that yes, we're finally here.
Quand on est arrivé déjà, quand on s'est tous rejoints à l'aéroport, on sent tout de suite un petit peu la pression qui monte. Donc il y a tous les joueurs qui arrivent un par un. On commence à sentir que le tournoi commence en fait dès ce moment-là.
With the arrival of the teams 3 days before the tournament, it allowed for them to spend some time exploring the Canadian landscape. The tournament was warmed up with the opening session on Sunday, May 12th. Once the session concluded, it marked the beginning of a memorable tournament.
बाहर आई है दिल वक्फे यार कर देखो.
Alors le début du tournoi, malheureusement pour nous, le tournoi il a très mal commencé. Premier match, première défaite, on perd 4-1 contre le Canada. Donc déjà ça a été très très dur. On est une équipe qui est très jeune, très compétitive, où on a beaucoup de, on n'aime pas perdre. Donc du coup ça a été un petit peu dur pour nous en fait d'entamer ce tournoi comme ça.
Our first game was against Canada B. It wasn't the best, of course. It was a very shocking start to the tournament for us. We expected to go in, having beat Canada B last year, we expected to obviously win again. Possibly even a larger score.
Our first match against Jamaica Canada worked in our favour with the rain. We were able to get some good football going, and alhamdulillah we came out victorious with that.
Day one, the score really doesn't reflect on the game itself. We came in a little shaky, we were a little nervous, I guess you can say. But once we found our footing, we continued to progress. We still came out with a victory. We played really, really hard. A lot of our guys did what they were supposed to, which came up with the result that we wanted to.
Deuxième match, deuxième défaite. Et là, ça a été encore un peu plus dur à encaisser parce que pour nous, c'était une défaite qui n'était pas méritée. On perd d'un but, on tient le match, c'est nous qui faisons tourner le ballon. Donc une défaite vraiment de frustration.
The second game we played was possibly the worst game we played, which was against Australia, because the conditions just completely flipped on their head, going from literally monsoon season to midsummer.
Final game we didn't win, but I felt like we advanced on points already, so it was one of those to give our players an opportunity who never saw the field or barely played any playing time for them to play in this game.
That 0-0 draw against UK, that major improvement from the first game really gave all of us a lot of motivation, in which the next games we just absolutely went through with the whole plan and made sure we didn't leave any room for improvement.
After an eventful group stage, 2 semi-final matches were played. As France and Holland compete for the plate championship after sharing 6-0 victories, Al Asud UK and Australia compete in the peak match of the tournament.
And there we have it, kickoff with England.
Before we went into the match, our game plan was to try and get an early goal, which obviously, because we didn't play very well in the first half, it wasn't possible.
We went into the final match somewhat expecting what the UK would play like, because we versed them in the group stage earlier already, and we versed them last year as well in the previous tournament. Our first half reflected that we had made a plan. Our second half wasn't as great as we thought it would be.
Once the second half started, we knew we could sense the goal coming because we were putting them under a lot of pressure, and they were giving us a lot of free kicks in and around the box. And with our height, with our free kick takers, left foot, right foot, we knew we were a threat in that sort of zone. Hassan, he came off the bench, he wins us the free kick. And it was a dangerous area. We knew if we attacked the ball into the right area, we could nick a goal here. And we put an exceptional cross in. Aban, our striker, he got a little glancing header, which the keeper tried to push out. I think he sort of pushed it back into the goal. So it was a very close call. And so the ball had just crossed the line. The referee and the liner gave it as a goal. We didn't even know who to celebrate with because we didn't know who the goal scorer was initially. So in that moment, we were just over the moon to have this goal. To now be like, okay, now we can settle down, we can now play our football.
What was that? That's the dangers that they can possess. That's the dangers. You do not want to give them a dead ball opportunity outside the box.
The referee blows that final whistle.
And with that, there blows the referee the whistle. What a beautiful game we got.
And you see this group of brothers who won, they get together, cheer, and they're moving. And they're going over to their brothers who lost, and they're embracing them. They get in a circle. They do their nare together. They share messages, hugs, and that's what it's about. It was a beautiful ending.
It was a challenge to be able to go up against the UK and really, perform. They genuinely were better than us. We got outplayed. Nothing we can do about that. However, we put up a great fight, played beautiful football, done what we needed to do. In the end, brothers that play together, pray together.
Absolutely beautiful ending. And normally, in outside competitions, wherever they are, you see the losing team coming off, heads are down, they're distraught. Here you see the opposing team, their own team, the crowd, is all with them. Nobody's looking at someone, loser. There's none of that attitude. And that's when you'll create that ethos and keep it going. The brothers that pray together are brothers that play together.
When you think about teams traveling to Canada from as far as Australia, UK, France, Netherlands, our own Canadian teams, you have to take a pause and look at, is this really about football or is there something bigger? When we received the approval from Huzuri Anwar from the tournament, I think that's the letter that really sets the stage for how people take that and view that as this is something that has been blessed by the Khalifatul Masih.
Football teaches us leadership and teamwork, inspiring greatness both on and off the pitch. The tournament's values of peace and brotherhood remind us to carry forward the spirit of cooperation. As the tournament wraps up, we see how this gathering captures the spirit of unity within the Jamaat. It brings together people from diverse backgrounds under one common goal, to attain righteousness. And in this tournament, we remember that as brothers that play together, pray together.
अपनी तस्कीन जा के लिए